Oh, yes, Dominions 4, Thrones of Ascension. Thank you guys for watching. I am playing multiplayer with WadeStar. He did invite me to play a mano-a-mano game with him, and I appreciate the offer and definitely took it up. We will be playing via the email on the Llama server, and I'll sort of show you guys how to do that. So the first thing you need to do is actually go to Game Tools, create Pretender. You have to send your Pretender to the game before the game starts so they know what's going on. I've already done that, so I'll just go to View Created Pretenders, and I'm actually going to be playing. I randomly just select a nation, came up Enigma of Steel. Not one of your strongest nations, not one of those overpowered nations, but, you know, we're letting the dice fall, we're letting the cards land. That's what we got handed to us, so let's see what we can do with it. So let's click on it. This is my pretender. This is my god. This is who I'm going to be. And of course, I had to go with the eldest dwarf for a few reasons. Obviously, the name. Second reason is, as it says in the title, the Enigma of Steel are very much into forging items and steel and crafting. That's their biggest thing, one of their biggest things. And of course, who does that better than dwarves? And I'll get into the civilization better, but let's go into this. So you can read this flavored text if you want. It doesn't hold a whole lot, just that I had a younger brother who's a piece of junk. What we're looking at here: Air 4, Earth 4, Astral 4, and Nature 4. With those, we get a minor bless. We're not going for a bless. They only have one good sacred unit, and it's capital only, so we're not going to be pumping out a whole lot of them, so that's not on the docket. We got these because we want to be able, again, and I guess I'll show it to you more in the units, but our commanders, they don't have a whole lot of magic. They're more of a jack of all trades. They know a lot of different magics, but they're not skilled in it. So with this, I'm hoping I can start busting out some staves that will boost their magical knowledge, so they can start casting those bigger spells. It's kind of what we're going for there. He is a good researcher. He is in prison, though, so he'll be there for 2 years or so. So we're not going to get a whole lot of that up front, but maybe towards the end game. Shock resistant, poison resistant, good. We're not going to use them a whole lot in regards to fighting. Mountain survival, which is cool. Be cool to see him force survival as well, like the rest of our troops. But is what it is. Supply bonus, so that's nice. He'll really help if there's a big standing army wherever he is. Dark vision, again, don't really see him going into dark places, don't see him doing much of that, but it's there. Master Smith, let's click on this. A Master Smith is highly skilled in crafting magic items. Again, falls great into the forging bonus that our smiths get, which I'll show you later. For the purpose of crafting magic items, he can add the value of this ability to the magic paths he knows. So again, now he can craft up to Earth 5, Astral 5, Nature 5, Air 5. He can craft up to those levels now, which is awesome. Dominion, we got the 6th candle. We got 6. That's strong enough, I think, to maintain. Obviously, I don't know what his pretender has. Hopefully, we don't get overtaken. At least with the 6, we'll be stable and probably not get completely drowned. Order 2, productivity 2. We did take those huge cold scales. We're really super heavy on the cold, so we'll not be able to have those bottlenecks on rivers and such like that, which is fine, but it allows us to get 2 order, 2 productivity, 2 growth, a luck, and some magic. This is really good scales to have. We're going to be pumping out humans left and right. We don't have giants, we don't have magical beasts, we don't have anything cool in that regards. We just have men with steel. And actually, that's a lie. We're going to really have women. So let me kind of show you the other side of this. So this is, well, let me just give you a little flavor on Ulm. Ulm is a land of cold mountains and dense forest. So that's kind of key right there. You'll start seeing forest survival and mountain survival down here. Most of them all have that, so we're going to be just sprinting through the forest and mountains. So that's a little key there. These wildlands were once settled by proud and fierce barbarians of ages past. Their ancestries has made inhabitants of the forest stronger and more resilient to the cold. Again, you're going to see that cold resistant 5 on pretty much all the units. Upon becoming a man, youngsters are given a single knife and left in the forest. Makes me sad, just a brand new dad throwing that out there. Be super sad to throw my baby out in the cold. For the first snowfall, those who survive the winter are allowed to return to their families. The barbarians of Ulm live in small settlements ruled by chieftains. So you'll see those will be kind of the commanders that move the bigger chunk of armies. Warrior smiths, those are the ones that are forging. Those get the forge bonus, and I'll show you that later. In the search of the enigma of steel. Steel is a sacred metal, and its maker is as well. Smithing has become the equivalent of making a sacrifice to the Lord, and no other culture has developed such skill in forging magical items. Again, we're going to jump on that construction, pumping out staves, pumping out quills. I'll get into all that. Horses are rare. Sneak attacks, though, on the other hand, are common, and many warriors use stealth to engage opponents in hand-to-hand combat. So see that on a lot of these units. Stealthy, 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 stealthy. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. As I said, I'm going to use a lot of women folk, because they are your meat and potatoes in this army. They are incredible. The warrior maiden. Let me get my notes up here. So the warrior maiden, she's going to be our stealthy archer. She is the only archer that's stealthy. This one's not. She has a short bow, which isn't the best, but it'll work. Again, you get your average stats for humans. A little stronger than most humans. 10 is the average for all of these, except for magic resistance. I think humans always have 8, correct me if I'm wrong, and then 10 on the rest of that. So they're a little stronger, a little faster, a little everything else. This movement, 2 movement across the map, again, with that forest and mountain, we're going to be just 2 every time. We can pretty much go wherever we want. So we have really good, probably the best movement in the game, except for flyers and people that have wings, things like that. But really, that's some really good movement. So that's our stealthy archers. For our offense, steel maidens, every day, all day. Stealthy, cold resistant, mountain survival, like we talked. But they are dual wielding short sword users. And it doesn't show it here, but they are ambidextrous as well, which is incredible. And then our shield maidens. I'm still debating if I want to use them as our defense, kind of hold the line in front of the archers. Everyone sits still and lets the archers do their job. I don't know about them yet. Probably use them up front. I think they're a tad cheaper. So for gold and resources, yeah, they're a hair cheaper than the steel maidens. And with our heavy gold order, productivity, scales, I think we'll be alright with gold, I'm hoping. But we'll see. So anyways, that's going to be our meat and potatoes. That's going to be our units that we're most likely going to use. Let's go down to... We do have our capital only. This is the only sacred unit we have. A little higher cold resistance. Great sword. They're just going to be whacking it hard and nailing them. Again, we do have that minor blast. We might have a small army that does that, but it's not really what I'm going to focus on. Something else kind of neat. In the forest, we can pop out some forest warriors. We obviously don't get mountain warriors in the forest. Similar to the mountains, we don't get forest warriors in the mountains. But at home, we can get both mountain and forest warriors. We're not really going to focus on those. They are cheaper. You know, if we need some easy bodies to get smashed in the grind, that's what they're for. Anywho, let's take a look at the commanders a little bit better. Alrighty, so let's actually dive a little bit more into our units since we have them here. Again, our warrior maidens with their bows. We got the shield maidens. Again, they do have the shield. They give, that's, pretty good protection. 16 protection. I mean, that's really good. I'm still debating. Probably use them. Probably gonna use them. Then the steel maidens. Again, ambidextrous 1. So you take the length. So you have length 1 of the short sword, and you can actually minus the. Typically, if you're dual wielding, short sword went over here. If you're dual wielding, the length of the sword is subtracted against your attack. But with ambidextrous, you get to minus that. So pretty much, there's not going to be any penalty for this short sword, because it's a length 1 with ambidextrous 1. They cancel each other out. Now, if we can start beefing these people up, making them, strength of giants, things like that. If they're taking on a giant, they're gonna die. If they are huge, if we get them enlarged, and they're pumping 6 shots, because it's gonna be 3 steel maidens on one tile and 1 giant on another tile, we're gonna get 6 shot in by the time the giant gets 1 in. So it's gonna be good. But I brought you over here to take a look at the commanders. Warrior Scout. We have the Warrior Chief, Warrior Smith, and the Shaman. Warrior Scout, pretty basic. They are ambidextrous, so they maybe can be like a little assassin if I need them to be, but I really probably won't use them like that, because we're already really good raiders, and we're already going to have a lot of raiding armies all over the army of the enemy lands, so we don't quite need that. He's mainly going to be popped out just so I can know what's going on, where the enemy leaders are going, things like that. Warrior Chief. He has leadership of 80, so he can hold a whole lot of guys compared to my 10 Shaman and my 40 Smith. So he'll be the biggest on calling my raiding parties around if I want a bigger raiding party. Other than that, great sword. He's pretty good, pretty decent. I wouldn't really say he's any kind of super combatant or any kind of thug like that, because again, he is human at the end of the day. But not horrible. We do have next the Warrior Smith. This is your bread and butter. Now, this is how come we're so diverse in Magic. If you take a look at the Shaman and the Warrior Smith, we get random 100% chance fire, air, water, and earth. So we're always going to have earth 1 and then 1 of these. So I'm really going to have to be a master at knowing what a fire earth smith can do, or a water earth smith can do, or even a water earth smith can do and make. They do get the forging bonus. Again, that's pretty much 1 gem less on every item he makes. If I can get like the dwarven hammer and things like that, it makes it even better, even less gems, so I'm pumping out more items. He actually provides resource, which is awesome. So if we have a bunch of standing smiths, we really don't need a bunch of standing armies. We can leave our men and women at home, and just recruit them right off the bat when we need them, because we are having good treasury, we're having good gold income. So if we can maintain a large treasury, we don't need a huge army standing around, because these guys will get those resources, boom, 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 pop them all out at once. We won't be bottlenecked by our resources. Resistant to cold, age isn't really an issue. We're doing the 2 movement. The only issue I have with him is he doesn't have any stealth. I'm not showing any stealth on him, so he's not going to be a raider, which sucks, but he's going to be staying at home a lot, forging items. I think I'm going to focus a lot on our shamans, boosting and buffing our maidens here, our steel maidens. So hopefully these guys will lead my maidens into battle. Let's take a look here, what I was wanting to do. So talk about the scouts, talk about the chief. The smiths, again, earth 100%. Similar to these guys, they get earth 100% as well. They also have holy. So we could do a bless Again, they'll be leading our minor, our unit capital only ones, our sacred only ones, but not really focus on that. They do get us into death, and they do get us into nature, which the smiths don't. So again, everything, we get every magical path except for blood and astral. And as you saw on my pretender, I actually have astral. So I mean, we're in every magic path except for blood, which is a whole animal on its own. So I'm feeling good. We just need to boost this. We need to be able to boost it because we only get one earth and one nature, things like that. One's not the impressive stuff. The 2s, the 3s, really when you get to the 4s. And we'll try to ratchet that up. We'll try to get some good magic. So anyways, that's kind of the idea. He only has a quarterstaff. He only has a maul. I mean, they're not going to be your fighters. He would be your fighter if anything, but again, not the best. I don't know what my enemy is going to be having. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of independent troops to start off with, which I feel good about. I've not tested this. I've not tried it out, so maybe I'll fail, and this will be the worst video I've ever seen. Maybe it'll be incredible. I don't know. The last guy, didn't really talk about him. Don't think I'm going to use a lot of him. He's too expensive. 200 gold. Again, we're trying to keep low resource, or low expenditure, so we can just pretty much zerg them. We're just going to try to overwhelm them with numbers. But he does get you into automatic Earth 2, automatic Nature 2. 10% chance of something else, kind of worthless. But if you're wanting that, if you're needing that, great. Supply bonus, again, he can kind of help with that. Our pretender will do that as well. He is stealthy. He is cold resistant like our normal guys. But again, he's just really too expensive. He's capital only, so you're not going to see a whole lot of him. He's slow to recruit. Yeah, just not seeing that being part of my big game plan. Anyways, let's go into some of the items I'm hoping that we can pop out here. Boop, 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 boop. So, talked about how awesome the units are. Talked about what units we're going to use, the commanders. Again, order and productivity. Really tried to pump out that gold for all our issues. Let's just go into spells since that's next on the list. So Earth Meld. I mean, these are low level spells. This is an Earth 2. Again, it depends on what we get as to what I'm going to be able to cast. Now there are earthen boots. Again, if we bust out the boots, where are the earthen boots? Earth boots. So they actually give us the +1 earth. So if I can forge these, plop them on just a regular Earth 1 smith or shaman, they can cast Earth Meld all day long without issues. Earth Meld holds person in place, and they can't move, which is awesome. Really spreads out their numbers, really spreads them out. Strength of Giants, like I was talking about, if we can really buff up our Steel Maidens, they're hitting hard 6 times for every one of their giants or whatever they have. We got some Summon Earth Power. Again, that'll boost. I guess that's here. This isn't an item. This is in combat. The first thing you cast is Summon Earth Power, and this will give you a boost to your Earth. Earth Magic bonus +1. So if you have a 1, he casts. Well, again, that's not good because it needs a 2. So if he has a gem, he can blow the gem. He's Earth level 1. Now he's Earth level 2. And now he can start doing the casting Earth Meld. So we're going to be a little into their gems as well, which is okay. But again, Summon Earth Power boost, Earth Boots boost, Destruction, we're going to Rain of Stones, things like that. Let me get let's go to the items. Again, we're going to be forging a lot of items. Let's go to Staff. Where is Staff of Elemental Mastery? Again, it takes Air 2, Earth 2, which is what our pretender has, and then it boosts your fire, your air, your water, and your earth. We start forging these puppies out, and we're just going to start, everybody's going to be great. It does take construction 6, so again, I think we're going to focus on construction off the bat. because we need these items. Another thing that'll help, crystal shields. Again, he can forge these. Crystal shields. This heavy crystal shield will empower the mage in battle, increase the power of all magical paths. So again, a +1 to all his paths while in battle. You know, this is stuff we need to, because we only get level 1s. Another thing, to get to construction 6 so fast, we're gonna need research. We're gonna need it quick. Ow. Boom. Owl quills gives us a research bonus of 6. Takes 1 earth or 1 air. So again, it depends if we ever get an air shaman. Lightless lanterns. Takes fire. This one's already construction 6, so it's kind of a late game research bonus. But again, it's a +12, which is great. Again, this is kind of my plan. I'm hoping you're seeing where I'm going with on this. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Yeah, and I do appreciate it. Oh no, guys. I was just about to jump into my game. Nations that have joined. Niflheim. Ugh. This is what I was worried about. There's the giants. Frost giants. Niflheim. Oh, man. So we are going to have to bump. Oh, man. We're going to have to go for strength of giants right away to help those steel maidens. Oh, man. That's bad. Look at all these hit points. Oh. Oh, man. This is going to be hard, guys. This is going to be hard. Doesn't have a whole lot, but they're one of the, again, Ulm, not the best, not one of the easier nations, mid to low range. Niflheim, oh my gosh, they're good. I'm not going to say easy, but they are one of the better nations if you're wanting to destroy some things. But, you know, we'll be alright. They do like cold. They do have cold resistant better than us. So, be alright. It's going to be one cold world. Anyways, hit points. You got to know what your enemy has. Like, ooh, he has 2 movement, but he doesn't have the mountain and forest like we do. So we'll at least have the movement advantage on him. He doesn't have any stealthy units, so we can get the rating on him. So I'm feeling good. We got that to our advantage. He does have a scout, stealthy, but all scouts are stealthy. I mean, his stuff costs a lot more than us. Alright. There you guys, the Nuffle Giant, just a mammoth. Oh, man. Anyways, guys, let's keep that in mind when we play. And you can read this flavor text if you like. Pause the video. Anyways, guys, like I said, I'd let you know a little bit about how to use the Llama server. Just type in Llama Beast Dominions 4. Should get something similar to this. Or llamaserver.net. There it is, actually. But this kind of explains how to join a game. So click on that. You go into your game. Pretty much what's this saying. You go into your game. Hit Game Tools. Open User Directory. That'll pop open a window. You click on the saved games, and then here it is. You can click on New Lords, and then you pick what Pretender. This is mine, Early Ulm Pretender, right there. So then you're going to take that file, and you're going to send it off to pretenders at llamaserver.net. Super important, big time important. Put the game name in the subject line. That's how it knows what game it's for. So that's pretty basic. You really just send in your pretender to start up. Later on, how to play your turns. They'll send you the turn file. You'll just actually have to create your own saved games in the saved games folder. Let me get to it for you. Bloop. You're going to have to open up your own folder. New folder. We'll call this YouTube. And when you open up, when they send you that folder, you put it in here. Or it's in that file. You put it in here. You'll go into the game. Play existing game. You click on YouTube. Nothing's there, so it won't work. And you'll play your turn. You'll end your turn. They'll kick you out to this screen. and then you'll go back in that folder, and there should be a .h2 file. You send that file off to turns@llamaserver.net with the game name in the subject line, and that's how you submit your turn. You'll get a new file once everybody's completed. Take that new file, put it into the folder, replace the old one, and keep going. So it's pretty fun. Wish me luck, guys.